The topic of homelessness, a recent event hosted by the South Hampton Roads Regional Task Force to End Homelessness took on the difficult topic with help from Ryan Dowd, the executive director of a large homeless shelter outside of Chicago. At the event, attendees learned the importance of dealing with homeless persons with kindness and compassion.
So a lot of the most standard myths around homelessness are that everybody's struggling with mental health issues. That's not true. Or that everybody's an addict. That's not true. Or that everybody who's homeless is homeless for decades, and that's really, really not true. And so a lot of the kind of the standards are they're pretty obvious. What's a little less obvious, the myth that I think that people struggle with a little more, is the idea that kind of anyone can become homeless. And why that's a myth is that most individuals have enough family, have enough friends, have enough connections at church that if they lost their apartment, if they lost their house, and they had to go stay somewhere, they could go crash on somebody's couch. They could go crash on somebody's in their spare bedroom. What separates somebody who ends up on the street or in a shelter or under a bridge or in an abandoned building is that not only do they not have the financial resources to afford an apartment, they also don't have the relationships to go crash on somebody's couch. And that's a level of poverty that is substantially greater than simply monetary poverty. It's also a poverty of relationships. On a more system-wide level, it's looking at, are there adequate systems? Is there adequate emergency shelter to get everybody off the street? Is there adequate affordable housing? Is there permanent supportive housing for individuals who've been chronically homeless for long periods of time and will need assistance to get back on their feet again? There's very much a system-wide approach, but because there's a system-wide approach to ending homelessness doesn't mean that every member of the community doesn't have a role to play, because everybody does, whether that's volunteering at an organization, whether that's donating, or whether it's just simply saying hi to somebody when they pass by on the street and they're asking for change. Maybe you give the change, maybe you don't, but either way, just saying good morning goes a really, really long way in terms of...
City leaders and local agencies invite you to join them for the annual Homeless Memorial Candlelight Vigil, which will be held this year at the new Homeless Resource Center at 1468 South Military Highway.